Tio, I was not prepared for what happened in the comments section overnight. Like, the devastation from yesterday, the title gone, the 2-0, all of it, and somehow the fans have pivoted to absolutely roasting someone called Gargamel.
And if you're new here, welcome to Real Madrid fan culture, where grief and comedy exist in exactly the same space at exactly the same time. The Gargamel comments are genuinely the dominant mood right now.
We've got fans saying, and I'm translating directly, Gargamel needs a girlfriend with about 5 laughing emojis. Look how bad Gargamel handles losing. And my personal favorite, Madre Mia Gargamel. He really can't stand losing. Who is Gargamel, and why does he hate losing so much?
I mean, the context is pretty clear if you follow Spanish football Twitter. It's a nickname that's been floating around for a while. But what's interesting is that fans have chosen this as their coping mechanism the morning after losing La Liga. Not pure anger, not despair, mockery.
And honestly, I think that tells you something about where the fan base psychologically is right now. Yesterday's episode, we covered the full meltdown, the Arbeloa outcrowd, the Mbappé fraud debate going nuclear. But today, 24 hours later, there's almost a dark comedy energy to the comments.
Grief has stages, Rafa. And apparently stage 2 for Madridismo is becoming a Smurfs reference. But look, the top comment on this Gargamel thread has 68 upvotes. That's the most engaged single comment in today's entire dataset. The fans aren't done processing. They're just processing differently.
There's something almost healthy about it, right? Like, instead of spiraling into another 48 hours of sell everyone, burn Valdebebas down, they've found something to laugh at, even if it's a villain from a cartoon.
Although I'd argue the fans who are saying Barcelona winning back-to-back with Cubarsí, Fermín, Eric Garcia, and Ferran Torres, and translating their exact words, being beaten by that group twice in a row is an absolute disgrace. Those fans are not quite in the comedy stage yet.
No, that one stings, because there's genuine pain in that take. It's not, we lost to a great team. It's, we lost to a youth project, and that makes it worse. 2 league titles in a row. That's the reality now.
And that leads perfectly into the La Liga comments, because fans are making a very specific point about this. One fan put it bluntly, Papa won the league, just like Papa said he would. The whole Papa Barca thing is everywhere in the comments right now.
Que barbaridad. And look, we've spent so many episodes this week on the match build-up, the Clásico day emotions, the post-match devastation. What I think is interesting now is that fans are already pivoting to the question of what this means structurally. Is this a one-season blip, or is Barcelona genuinely ahead of us?
The fans who are thinking clearly, and there are some buried beneath the Gargamel memes, are pointing to exactly that. 2 consecutive titles. A squad built on youth. And Real Madrid, a club with arguably one of the biggest wage bills in the sport, finishing second.
And into this exact conversation walks Toni Kroos, Vamos, of all people, because Marca is reporting he's called the current situation unacceptable, and pointed to one player as the future. And the comments are reacting to this like he's just delivered a verdict from the football gods.
Kroos carries a certain weight when he speaks about this club, and fans know it. He doesn't do hot takes. When he says something is unacceptable, people listen. What's fascinating is that he's essentially validating what the angriest fans have been saying all season. Something fundamental isn't right.
Now let's talk about Mbappé, because the nickname debate has genuinely evolved. Yesterday we had the fraud. Today a fan has proposed officially retiring La Tortuga, the turtle, and replacing it with El Risitas, the giggler, because of that smile.
We've covered the smile thing across multiple episodes now. It became a whole storyline. But El Risitas is a new level because it's not even about his football anymore. It's about his perceived attitude. That's a different kind of fan anger.
And then you've got the more serious faction. One fan saying the first people who need to leave are Florentino, Mbappé, and Camavinga. That's a list. That's a whole restructuring plan in 6 words.
What's interesting is Camavinga appearing on that list alongside Mbappé. We've seen flashes of that sentiment building, but grouping them together suggests some fans are looking at the whole project and questioning it, not just one player.
There's also a fan who made a point that genuinely made me stop. Mbappé doesn't even think about Madrid, and he actually plays for them. Imagine what Barcelona fans think. It's almost philosophical. Like, if your own striker is checked out mentally, what does that say?
The Champions League anxiety thread is also worth touching on because amid all the Clásico aftermath, a couple of fans are raising something that hasn't been front and center, whether this squad even secures Champions League qualification. One fan literally wrote, "I'm not even sure we make the Champions League, it's Betis next." And that's a level of anxiety I wasn't expecting to see today.
And that brings us to Oviedo on Thursday, which, in the context of everything we've been talking about, almost feels like a footnote. But it isn't, right? Because if there are any lingering qualification concerns in anyone's mind, every remaining game matters.
The mood going into Oviedo is going to be really telling. Do fans show up emotionally? Or is there a sense of, the season is over, what are we even doing? Based on today's comments, I think the fan base is split. The comedy crowd will be fine. The genuinely angry crowd might not be.
One more thing I want to flag. The Valverde and Tchouaméni comments are still coming in, even today. Faster than Tchouaméni, sending Valverde to hospital with a KO. Fans are still making jokes about the dressing room situation we covered on Friday. That story hasn't died.
It won't die until there's an official denial or confirmation, and given the club's communication style, we might be waiting a while. What strikes me is that even in defeat, even with the league gone, the internal drama stories keep pulling at the same level of engagement. Fans are just as interested in what's happening inside Valdebebas as what's happening on the pitch.
Which is either a sign of a deeply dysfunctional club or a deeply invested fan base. Maybe both. Tomorrow morning we'll have a much clearer picture of where the mood settles, whether the comedy holds or whether the anger comes back with fresh energy. Oviedo is 2 days away and this squad has something to prove.
The Gargamel era of Real Madrid fan processing continues tomorrow. Until then, Hala Madrid, whoever you are, whatever stage of grief you're in.